you're a femcel.
Yes.
How long have you been celibate for?
Shoot, I haven't been counting the months, but maybe like the last like real like 6 months has been like really like when I've been starting going ham with this whole identity.
Okay. Well, but you said that's when you started going ham with his whole identity, which I mean makes it sound like you have some degree of choice.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to meet somebody that changed my mind, then I don't mind. But I literally like I'm not kidding when I'm saying every man is like repelled by me, but like it's involuntary, you know?
Every man is repelled by you. We have a little thing popping off. Yeah, we'll have Madison fix it. Just stay there, Nick. You say you're at these parties and these guys come up to you, and as soon as they find out that you're not down to have sex that night, they move on to another woman. Mm-hmm. Now, but when it comes to being involuntarily celibate, if men are propositioning you and offering you sex and you're rejecting it, that would suggest to me that you're voluntarily celibate. If men are offering you sex and you're turning them down.
Yeah, but those are just like random people. If I'm like actually like into somebody, like that was just like a random conversation I had at a club. But like if I'm actually like into somebody, I swear they're never into me too. Like the last person I just like showed any interest towards, I don't know. I think people like are just like really narcissistic and have really big egos. So if you're not like immediately trying to act like they're trying to like just be all over them and like be like, I don't know, just feeding their ego, and you actually want to talk about yourself or anything you're doing, it is like a complete turn off to them, and they're just like used to girls being all over them, you know.
We have a chat here from whatever fan. He says femcel usually means a woman who can't get an LTR, not one who isn't sleeping around. So I mean, do you do OF?
And I'm trying to. I'm
Okay.
epically failing at it, but yeah.
You're epically failing at it. I mean, are there not? Because like.
I only have 6 subs.
Like,
so.
can you think of one guy right now who, if you texted him and you're like, "Hey, do you want to have sex?"
I don't know. I've completely like removed the whole idea of men from my mind. Like I don't pay I don't pay any attention to them.
Except whenever you profit off of them for OnlyFans.
No, I mean, like, I think you need to focus on yourself and build up why it is that you're confident and have value. And I think that if you're bombing on OnlyFans, maybe you could take it as a sign to, like, maybe move away from the platform, because it's going to have long-term consequences too. And if you want a proper, respectful relationship, you're not going to find that at the clubs.
I'm based. Yeah. I don't look for relationships at all. Like that's just if somebody random comes up to me, you know.
Sorry, go ahead.
But I'm not looking for a relationship. Like literally, I don't think of men like at all anymore. Like I'm only focused on like me and my girls. Like that's where I find my social connection from.
Sometimes you have to be careful with what kind of girls you choose too to surround yourself with.
That's true. Yes. I got a good family though. Like we're a real, like literally we're a cult. So like, so I don't know. I just got a really good support system around me like that. So
okay. Well, I don't think you're a femcel, but
that's my definition.
Okay. It's like a style thing, but it's not like a literal incel. It's not the same.
Yeah, you're not literally.
Can't be that way.
Voluntarily.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I don't think women.
You've seen.
I don't think women can be involuntarily celibate.
Because they're always desirable, like
no,
biologically.
Yeah, pretty much. Like.
So do you think men can be involuntarily celibate?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
If they're biologically desired by other women and men?
Well, I mean, it comes down to your capacity to actually procure sex. So, and obviously, let's exclude prostitution, for example. There are men genuinely out there, despite them making reasonable, good faith efforts to get sex, they just can't. Whereas, I mean, I can't think of a scenario where a woman, if she just strictly wanted casual sex, could not get it almost instantly, very quickly. You need not do more as a woman than just download Tinder, download a dating app, make yourself available. You probably won't even have to take all that much initiative. You can probably get laid very easily.
That's true, but I think it's different value systems, because it's like women can get, any woman, I honestly think in any situation can get laid, but it's not something that women value.
Well, that's a different question, though. Is it, do women want to have casual sex? But when we're talking about a specific term, like someone who's involuntarily celibate, I mean, that has a very specific definition. You are involuntarily celibate. So despite your efforts to procure sex, you're not able to get it.
I think it's rather short-sighted to specify that it's only a men issue, because even in the intro, you specified if you're a girl, you can DM the podcast if you want to come on. I feel as though men aren't given as many opportunities to be like social and to like meet a lot of people that are on similar wavelengths as they are. And so
you're just arguing my point.
Well, what I'm saying is I think, but you're saying that you think only men can be involuntarily celibate. And I think women can also shut themselves away and be very much like in their own head thinking, okay, everyone likes me. I'm not the beauty standard. For men, it's, I don't have muscles and I'm not over 6 feet. And for women, it's, okay, I don't have triple D's and I don't have a tiny waist. Like it can be, I feel like it can be very fair on either side.
Well, I mean, sorry, go ahead. Continue with your point.
I was going to say, I think that she is describing a lot of voluntary celibacy, because that's how I operate too. I'm voluntarily celibate in my life.
But we're talking about involuntarily celibate. I mean, you mentioned, like, for example, physical appearance. I mean, we've had women on the show who, no offense to them, but just as a statement of fact, were, for example, morbidly obese. And, you know, it occurs to me that their looks equivalent, you put them in a male body with the same characteristics. We have women, for example, right? A woman could be, how do I want to best frame this?
Ugly as fuck.
Like, even really, really unattractive women can be sluts. But a really unattractive, 100%. Like morbidly obese man can't be a slut.
But who's to say that a morbidly obese woman could be a slut?
He can be a slut,
I don't know.
Wait
like,
a minute.
I mean, well, for example, we've had women on the show who, I mean, Nick, if you're able to pull it up, the girl who wore the pink. She was. What?
Bro, bringing up.
Oh, you have it? One sec. I mean, she's a little bit overweight, and she was saying how she could sleep with 5 men in a day. Her male looks equivalent, like, to be able to sleep with 5 women in a day, that puts you in the realm of like A-list celebrity, musician, actor, professional athlete, or you're just exceptionally good looking.
Or it puts you into a price bracket of how much you make, and you can pay for those services also.
Yeah, but I'm excluding prostitution from this conversation.
What about OnlyFans?
What do you mean?
Because
how's that related at all?
Because plenty of men have favorite models that they like to fund their lives specifically, and for some OnlyFans models, they are willing to exchange more intimate interactions with users than others. For some people,
prostitution? Yeah, I'm excluding that from the conversation.
Well, I wasn't sure if you identified OnlyFans as prostitution.
Well,
that's what.
You're saying, hold on, but you're saying you're talking about having more intimate connection. So I think what you were trying to arrive at is, what if the women on OnlyFans offer up sexual services, aka sex, for money?
Yeah. Well, because he's talking about physical sex, not like.
Like just chances in general, because from what I maybe I'm misunderstanding your point then.
Well, that's the thing is that, like, there's a story with Kurt Cobain where he ended up basically having intimacy with a woman who was mentally disabled, physically disabled, overweight, and smelled. And the girl apparently had slept with a bunch of guys in the town, including some family members. So it's like a woman inherently is always going to be used by men who are seeking that out. But men, on the other hand, will never be used in that respect, at least not usually.
I wonder if it's connected to women being inherently seen as like a biological sexual object, whereas men are more conquership-based, more protector, more warrior. And I wonder if those biological like expectations.
Those are biological realities, yeah. Like, women are the receptacle and men are the ones who basically pursue.
I'm not sure if I would categorize women as receptacles.
I mean, like, yeah,
I'm not going to co-sign that statement.
Yeah,
but
it makes sense then that there's more men that are like finding, you know, involuntary celibacy to be their way of how they operate, if that is the case, if we live in a society to where men are not seen as sexual beings and women are. Right?
Well, women aren't supposed to be seen as sexual beings. We're supposed to have agency and womanhood and femininity, but unfortunately with the commercial society that we live in, it's like we've been reduced down to these sexual objects, whether it's like boobs and butts and all of that jazz. There's no sense of respect or dignity associated with womanhood anymore because of, in my opinion, the things like the sexual revolution basically removing our agency from us.
But that's women's own doing. Like, kind of women did that to themselves, like over like the whole feminism thing.
Well, part of it doing it to ourselves is for money, because it's an easy way to make money.
So that's why I mentioned money, because I feel like money is always going to be a topic when talking about those interactions, and as far as like people's ability to get sex, because I have listened to self-proclaimed incel men speak about how they've paid for sex before, but they don't count that as a real experience because of the way that they view it. That's what they say.
Yeah. Why? I mean, because what I think incel men want is they want sex that does not involve, that's not transactional.
I would hope.
Now, I mean, we could certainly have a deeper conversation of, well, to some degree, is romantic
everything transactional?
Is everything transactional?
Which
but that's on another level.
It's not organic, I guess, is what he's trying to say. Yeah, like more so like organic sex. Like you meet somebody, you click, and then you're like, oh, hey, let's go, hook up. That's, I think, more so what he's talking about.
I wonder if that comes down to, base levels of testosterone versus estrogen levels, and I just wonder if it's not as like social, as like a social contagion issue, or if it's more like genuine, just like our biology kind of catching up to us a little bit in the social state that we're at, right?
No, I agree, because you actually like how you said that, like, men don't have a lot of, like, they have a lot of social experiences. They can go out and meet a woman. I was literally just in Japan last week, and it was like the cutest thing. My feet were dying, so I was sitting and like in this little corner, and there were these two schoolgirls and this like they're high schoolers, right? High school guy comes up, puts the arm right like by her head, it goes like, hey, I saw you, you're just really cute, and what you doing later, right? And she was just giggling like, oh my gosh, like this is her like fairy tale moment. And when he like gave him her number, when he left, she was like giggling with her friend like, oh my gosh, that was so great. And I'm like things are so different in this culture, and like men could just go up to women in other countries and be like, oh my gosh, I really like you, you're really beautiful, like let me take you out on a date.
Men do that all the time. Like
they do, but they're often rejected.
They open up their phone and they hand you their Instagram with it open for you to type in your username. Yeah. That's what they do.
I feel like it's stupid. Like if somebody comes up to me on the street, I'm always hella friendly. I don't give a fuck if it's a homeless man, like, or whatever, whoever it is. Like I'm gonna always meet them with positive energy. Like I think catcalling, getting upset by that is literally so dumb.
Look, here's the reality, right? Okay. Most women can sleep with most men. Most men cannot sleep with most women. A woman can, I mean, she would have to, I would even argue if she was seriously disabled or disfigured, she could still procure sex rather easily. So, I mean.
Well, also, I'm delusional and very, like, men trigger manic episodes in me.
Okay.
So, like, I almost turn into a crazy person if they try to talk to me. But, so that's usually what repels them.
I mean, but here's the thing. If you were to download Tinder, just swipe on even the dudes that you just think are physically attractive, or if you even were to go out to a nightclub or a bar or a party, and you say men approach you.
I tried Tinder, I tried Hinge. Literally, I get like 0 matches, and if I try to meet up with them, like,
stop the cap.